Earnest money. What is it and what can it do for you? Now, if you've never bought a house before, you may not even be familiar with this term, but what earnest money is very simple. It is a chunk of cash to show that you, the buyer, are earnest about buying this home. It's not actually cash, it's usually a check or wired funds, but you get the idea. The earnest money deposit is one of the first things that happens between contract and closing. So when you work with me as a buyer, we make an offer on your dream house, the offer gets accepted, yay! There's gonna be some things we have to do between when that contract is accepted and when we close, usually in about a month. And generally the very first thing you have to do is deliver a check or initiate a wire transfer to get that earnest money into escrow. Now it varies by listing, but earnest money is usually going to be 1 to 2% of the total purchase price. And it depends on the contract, but usually it's going to be about 3 days after that offer is accepted that you'll be required to deliver the earnest money deposit. That money then goes into escrow and just kind of hangs out there until the transaction closes. Then when closing day arrives, that money gets applied to your down payment and it will reduce the amount that you owe at the closing table. So Sam, what's the point of this? Why is this money held in escrow to begin with? Why don't we just deliver the entire down payment at the time of closing? Well, earnest money acts as sort of a safeguard for the seller. So if you as the buyer at any time go into default on your contract and the deal falls apart because of that, the seller would be entitled to keep that earnest money deposit. It doesn't actually happen that often, and contracts fall through for one reason or another all the time. And generally that earnest money does go back to the buyer. But the option is there if there's some gross negligence on the buyer's part for the seller to keep that earnest money deposit as damages. But otherwise that amount gets credited to your account and will show up on your final settlement statement. We will get to closing, you will be in your new house, and everyone will have champagne. Questions? Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, stay tuned because I'm going to be doing videos for most every part of the buying and selling process. As always, thanks for watching. We'll talk soon.